Welcome back to the Walk in Wisdom series, a series where I reflect on each podcast episode and think about the 5 lessons that I took away from that conversation. Here are 5 things that I learned from the episode with Dave Nuttall, the CEO of Thrive Manchester. Have you been misunderstanding what trauma is? Number 1, trauma is more about the perception of the event than the actual event itself. Trauma isn't necessarily about the magnitude of the event, it's about how the brain processes and perceives it. So, for example, someone could have been hit by a car and not develop trauma, while someone else could be deeply affected by being shouted at in school. This is still traumatic. Trauma is deeply personal. It's not the event itself that defines it, but the emotional and psychological impacts it has on the individual. Understanding this helps you develop empathy for people and stop minimizing people's trauma, no matter how big or small it may seem. I've included some common traumatic experiences in the comments. I've included some common traumatic experiences in the caption below. Have a read and ask yourself, did you know that healing from trauma is easier when we're younger? When we are younger, our brains are more plastic. This means that they can recover more easily from the impacts of trauma. We can create new neural pathways which can help us respond differently in the present. As we grow into adulthood, our brains become less malleable, which makes it more difficult to rewire those neural pathways. This makes it more difficult to recover from the long-term impact of trauma. Trauma can influence our behaviour in the present, where we elicit automatic responses because of cues in the environment. These responses can feel or look disproportionate or illogical because they stem from unresolved trauma. By addressing trauma early in life, we can support children develop healthier responses to these environmental cues and avoid ingraining automatic responses because of past trauma. For adults, the process involves unlearning, and a lot of it. We have to unlearn these ingrained responses, and this requires conscious effort. It requires support and tools to reshape the brain circuitry. But the first step is being aware. So ask yourself, have you faced setbacks on your healing journey? Number 3, healing isn't linear. The healing journey, like any journey, is full of ups and downs. When you think you're making progress, you'll face a setback. When you think you've healed, you'll be triggered. Everyone's journey is different. Celebrate the small wins. Celebrate the progress. It's important to recognize that healing is a lifelong journey of learning and unlearning. And when you look at it this way, you can extend yourself passion when you do make those mistakes, when you do face those setbacks. So ask yourself, when was the last time you showed yourself the same compassion that you easily extend to others? Number 4, you need to be kind to yourself. We're often quick to offer empathy and kindness to those around us, but we tend to neglect ourselves. Easy to be harsh on ourselves, especially when things aren't going the way we want them to. Being kind to yourself isn't about letting yourself off the hook. It's about acknowledging your struggles without judgment. Passion towards yourself creates a space for healing, reduces stress, and supports long-term growth. Next time you're harsh on yourself, ask yourself, do you have things in your life that help protect you from difficult times? Number 5, the importance of protective factors. Protective factors are positive aspects of our life that help us cope with challenges and stress. These can be supportive relationships, hobbies, routines, or a sense of purpose. Having these in place doesn't eliminate any challenges or tough times. It makes it easier to navigate through these situations. They help us bounce back, stay grounded, maintain resilience when life gets difficult.